All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Keep Your Torch Lit podcast. My name is Jack Atkins. I'm disguised as Emily, a sorority girl.
My name is Savannah.
And my name is Brian.
No, Bryant.
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 You're
like Kobe
breathing
Bryant.
coach.
Take a deep breath. Take
Okay.
a deep breath, Sam. You're not thinking straight.
Nah,
Okay, those
I'm
obviously are
right
not
now.
our real names. But if you guys have seen the new season of The Circle, we really think that us three are like those people in
The
this
first,
in the new
no,
season of The
basically,
Circle.
I don't know. I started watching season 2, episode 1, and then the first 3 characters they introed, I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is me, Jack, and Sam, kind of. And then I started watching a little more, and I was like, the personalities also match like a little bit to some extent.
Yeah, not
So-
completely, but like definitely.
Yeah, definitely not completely, but I think I matched the most so far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I think she
anyways.
took your spot on the cast.
I know, I think she actually did. Because, like, yeah.
I don't know.
Are we allowed to talk about this?
Well, I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
asking you.
Yeah, I was like interviewed for the show, and I'm pretty sure the Savannah girl took my spot, but it's fine. We shall move on. I'll be on Survivor.
You'll be on Survivor. You know what? You should be on Survivor instead. Yeah, you need $1 million, not whatever much it is in The Circle.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're giggling and laughing a lot, but this was a very sad episode, for me at least, because my number one person in the game got voted off, Camilla. So, yeah, coming off of our highest of highs and going lowest of lows. Right?
I think you're not the only one who's sad here. The whole audience is sad. This is a brutal boot order here in this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really shaping up to be.
Just how chaotic and like awkward that like post-tribal, everything after that tribal was, where everyone is like talking about what happened.
Oh, yeah, like El Norte, I love how El Norte is literally so fractured and has been through so much. And meanwhile, Tokidoki's just all like still kind of united and chilling. It's just completely
we literally
different.
had like the most fractured possible vote, like a 3-2-1 right here.
Yeah.
Like before the swap happens. So like basically everybody except for me, Megan, and Camilla, like were lied to. And Nate especially, he was like double lied to. He had no idea what the hell just happened. He used to sitting there like in complete shock, like, wait, did they vote for me? What just happened? Yeah.
It's so awkward between Katie and Nate now, where like Katie tried to save Nate and then like voted for him anyways, but then now they're both blindsided.
Mm-hmm.
Like see, everyone just has their little like beef with each other now, and the whole tribe.
Yeah. I've been impressed with how the people who have been blindsided have been handling it though. Like they haven't really blown up necessarily. Like Katie was like, let me just like think about this for a second. Like they're like taking it well, which I guess you kind of have to. When you're like at the
least
bottom.
the people who are still in the game, Ben didn't take it so well in the moment.
Oh,
yeah. Can't blame him.
Yeah.
No, but I know what you mean. Yeah, just people are not immediately like going and trying to blow everything up. They're trying to like take a second to process and see where to move forward. You know, they're obviously Katie is not going to just completely forgive us as we see in this episode, but like she's not being immediately like, okay, you know, we're enemies now.
I feel like Katie's definitely underestimated a bit. Like even in this episode, I think like Camilla calls her dumb, but I feel like I remember Katie, like everything she says in this episode, she seemed to have a pretty good perception of like where she stands with the tribe, and even had like multiple strategies going into the swap of like, yeah, I could try to pull something with Camilla, or I could like throw Camilla under the bus. Like Katie's definitely thinking about things.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah, I was definitely underestimating her at the time. Like, I think that's part of the reason why, if we want to start to talk about some of the swap strategy, I think that's part of the reason why I was okay-ish with Camilla being on that tribe with Katie, because I'm like, okay, Katie, how hard is Katie really going to go? Like, I feel like Camilla will be able to flip on her easily or be able to convince her to work with her easily. And like, you know, that wasn't really the case.
Let's start with the tree mail though. That started the whole thing. Is this the first time we've had tree mail?
I think so.
They've actually like shown tree mail, yeah.
Yeah. It's so dramatic.
It was.
And Matt's getting flashbacks to season 1, where it was like the summit.
I love how Matt was like, Matthew tells the crew Tokidoki's like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because I messed something up. And Jack is like, yeah, and Matthew won't be on the 3-3 because he's like, oh, I fucked this up in season 1. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that whole meeting was so awkward. And of course, Kat's like, I'll do it. Like, that's just something she would do. And then Ivy's also a little bit like, yeah, yeah. Because, Ivy knows everyone. So it's fine. And then, okay, Eliza was not going to do it. Why did Shannon end up doing it again?
I think that Shannon said in the episode, like, oh, I think they were trying to pick people who they felt like could flip El Norte people. So they were trying to say, like, okay, who has connections?
Nate or someone?
Camilla. Shannon said that she had a relationship with Camilla just because of their little, like, puzzle thing.
Yeah.
And then, Ivy with Nate, and Kat just wanted to go to bed.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, yeah, strategy on El Norte, though, because that was also, like, a stalemate. It was harder for you guys. Because the 2 people did not want to be, like, 2 is worse than whatever Tokidoki was going to have to deal with.
Yeah. And I had kind of gotten a warning from Matthew saying, like, hey, you shouldn't be on, like, the tribe of 4 Tokidokis and 2 El Nortes if you can. And we can get into more about whether he's really looking at, like, my best interest or not. But, like, I definitely, from that point on, was like, I am going to try everything I can not to get onto that tribe. Because I was just really scared of being voted out, right away. So I think a lot of people, I feel like, or some people like in the comments and stuff, have been like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Camilla was like so ditzy to just like throw her game away for Jack or whatever. But like I feel like that's not being completely fair because I think that it was more of like her not just like willingly doing it. I think I was definitely trying to like play it up to her and like trying to like convince her to do it more. So like I really think that this was almost kind of like more of like a move that I made rather than just like Camilla doing something that she shouldn't have done. I think I was just like really trying to like be, because I obviously like I was really close with Camilla and like she was like my number 1 person, but I'm also like I don't want to be on this tribe more than anything. I don't want to get voted out more than anything. So like, Camilla, like I think that you should be on this tribe for these reasons.
Yeah. I mean, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I feel like it's definitely a few situations in this episode where, like, in your alliance with Camilla, you were definitely looking out for both of you, but, like, looking out for yourself first and foremost. Yeah. Whereas Camilla was looking out for both of you, but not really looking out for herself as much as she probably should have been. Even though, like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I do think that I can see a little bit of why she would do it. Like, there's obviously like you had the whole thing where I'm the biggest threat. They're going to get rid of me no matter what. I'm a target versus like Camilla didn't have the same target. Camilla felt like maybe there's a chance to flip things. You and Megan promised to throw the challenge. Like, I feel like there's definitely all these things that kind of like sweeten the deal. And on top of that, thinking like, okay, maybe the merge is soon. Maybe we'll win immunity. Maybe I can just throw Katie under the bus. Like, I could see how there's so many reasons why she volunteered for it. I honestly don't know as much why Katie did. I guess Katie just felt like she could outlast Camilla. But
that, and I feel like she didn't feel that strongly about El Norte after that Benbow. Like, she was almost like, I'd rather just work with Tokidoki anyways. Yeah, and then she was like, I think her plan was to throw Camilla under the bus if she had to by telling them about that move that you had just made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
which she did.
Yeah.
And we just like spent so long talking there. Like, I think she didn't really prefer to go into that situation. Katie like didn't really prefer to go into that situation, but I feel like we just kind of like had spent so long just in the library in the Ugly, like just talking about this and then when Nate being gone and us talking about like, hey, like we can still like stick together and like us against Nate, blah blah blah. Like I definitely feel like I was really like pulling at both her and both Camilla and Katie to go on that tribe. And I think Katie kind of saw that like she could turn on Camilla if she had to, and it's definitely not like the worst of situations for her to go into.
Yeah. I'm actually curious. So let's say that you guys had decided not to vote off Ben at the last tribal council. How do you think you would have decided this if Nate is gone and Ben is here instead?
Yeah, that's so tough because there's basically us four. There's still that Breakfast Club alliance that is supposedly intact. And like, I guess this kind of depends in this scenario if like this whole flipping and flipping back thing never happened, or if like, we were able to flip them back, blah, 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 blah. But, I think I still feel like it'd be really hard for us to come to an agreement because I feel like nobody would really still want to be on that tribe of two. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Ben and Katie would probably want to put Megan on there. And like me and Camilla would probably still be kind of protective of Megan, because we're on the radar working with her. I mean, depending on how everything plays. I mean, it's really kind of a lot of hypotheticals, but I feel like, I don't know, I really feel like it's hard to say that we agree on something. But also I feel like we'd all be too scared to not agree to something. We would not want to leave it up to them. I don't know. I really don't know what would happen.
But yeah, and I guess that also brings up like the question of whether it actually was the right move for you to be in the 3 versus being in the 2, which I guess we'll see in future episodes. But even just given this one, whether and I think you brought this up before, Jack, like you were thinking about what if it was me and Camilla in the 2, like how do you feel like that would have went?
Yeah, like I almost feel like that would be better, and like maybe we can talk about this more with Camilla later and like see exactly how she thinks it would play out. But I really think that possibly like if we're on that exact same tribe and it's those 4, Tokidoki and me and Camilla, I really feel like there's a lot of pressure that me and Camilla could put on Matthew and Eliza to flip on Jackson or Dale, and like. Because I know definitely seemed like Eliza was ready to flip, and maybe Matthew was a little more wary. But like, I feel like if we put him into a position between like voting me or Camilo off, or maybe making a bit of move on Jackson and kind of establishing this kind of returnee alliance and actually kind of making it more official, I don't know. Like, I feel like it could definitely go either way. And maybe it comes down to like if me, Megan, or me, Camila, and Eliza are all like really pushing him, I can see him kind of going with us in that way, because I feel like Eliza would have been pretty like amenable to it. I don't know.
Also, another random thought I wanted to get out. I know that some people in the comments and stuff are saying things about how like, what, this swap is so unfair for El Norte. They're guaranteed to be in the minority. This swap idea was something we decided on at the very beginning of the season as production before we knew, how the season was going to play out. And it's one of the things where it's like, you plan twists and you hope that they pan out. This is one of them where I think we really were hoping that it would be 3-3. So like that both tribes would be 3-3. So like the tribe numbers would be even. And it just didn't work out that way. And it's like, you can't really change your twist idea halfway through the season based on if one tribe is doing better or worse, because then it's kind of just a little bit unfair. But that was one of the things where it sucks that like what El Norte is going to automatically have 2 people in the minority. And I think as production we were hoping like, well, there's going to be some good strategy in seeing who ends up in the 3, and then maybe the people in the 2 will be able to pull a move off. And I guess you just kind of hope for the best when you have a twist like that. But it definitely is tough, like given that in your guys' tribe, like even we could even debate about like, well, maybe it would have been a good move if you and Camila had gone over, or you and Megan or something. But it's like it is one of the things that it's tough in retrospect. And when you're there deciding who's going to be in the minority, it's a tough position to where two of you had to agree to like purposely be in the minority on another tribe. Like that's just like a tough spot to be for El Norte. El Norte, as Dale would say.
Okay, can we talk about the kazoos though? Like that felt like an office scene to me, where because like even like the camera work, it was kind of like hidden behind the pillars and it like zoomed in, and then they were just like jamming to the kazoos, and I think someone was watching them and like really unimpressed. Who was that? Oh yeah, Nate. It was like, what the heck? Like, it was not about that.
Wearing his green jacket and his green water
Mhm.
bottle.
Oh my gosh, was that this episode too? The lime green. Wait, guys. Lime green.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
I'm literally sitting next to a lime green chair right now.
Is that Nate?
Nate, you need to
Nate.
send that to Nate.
Nate's throne. I just think it's so funny that like even during the challenge, the bottom of his shoes were lime green. Like the shoe itself wasn't lime green, but the bottom was.
I love that. He's branded fashion icon of the episode. 100%.
Oh, for sure.
No, and then
Even-
you also zoomed in on his lime green water bottle in his confessional. I thought that was so funny.
That was so perfect. Oh my gosh. Real question is who is the fashion icon of the episode? Nate with his lime green, or Dale, Mardi Gras boy?
Oh yeah.
Was his wig lime green?
Yes.
It was like green,
Yes.
right?
It was very, very green.
I think
was a
Nate,
fan.
just because he had like the most lime green, and then Dale because he had like that. He only had one costume, but Nate has a lot of lime green costumes.
It's true. Yeah, Dale didn't go as all. Dale put on a wig, very impressive, but he doesn't have the same level of coordination that Nate had with just the bottoms of his shoes, with his jacket, his water bottle.
Exactly.
I love that Nate and Kat are in a tribe together because they seem to hate each other.
Well, yeah, and Shane and Kat are in a tribe together. You would think would hate each other, but maybe it's seeming like they're warming up to each other a little bit.
It's true.
True.
The Warrior Women Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can we talk about the Shannon confessional? Where it was like, I think we could do like a trio thing and then like flashback to her like complaining. Wait, was she like crying in one of them? That was like
Probably.
The editing was really funny.
Shannon does cry in her videos a lot. But yeah, so funny. Like her hatred of Kat. I feel like it does seem like she's warming up to Kat a little bit. Like I saw they were joking around with the kazoos, but then Shannon gets to her confessional and just like roasts everybody.
Okay, so tell me why there's literally always a Cooper party interfering with something. I feel like Cooper's parties are a character in itself every season.
They're an important event. Like, you know, people talk about like the tribe swap, the merge being important events in Survivor. I think in Survivor Michigan, Cooper's party is one of those landmark events.
Jack, you missed that event, Jack.
I did. Yeah. Which maybe I should have been there. I don't know. Maybe that would have changed things. Maybe I could have saved Camilla at the party somehow. I don't know.
Because I remember us three, Jack and I had gone to visit you, Sarah, when you were living in Chicago. I think we filmed.
That's why.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So we weren't there for the weekend. I think that we actually like recorded a podcast like in your closet. I remember
we did in my
Chicago
because it was like soundproof.
Yep.
Wow,
man,
good times.
But we only heard the tales of Mardi Gras boy wrecking the party. And
do you think Dale felt the need to dress up because he felt too old and he wanted to look younger?
He wanted to liven up. Yeah, he wanted to. Yeah.
He was losing some hair, so he needed the wig.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I love the part where like Camilla's confessional was just like, yeah, so I just went up to Dale and I was like, why are you throwing the challenge? And Dale was like, what? I'm not throwing the challenge. What are you talking about? Then it cuts to him and he's just like, yeah, we're going to throw the challenge. Like, I feel like Dale is an intimidating person and just to go up and confront and be like, yo, what the hell? Why are you throwing the challenge, dude?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like this season, speaking of the challenge, there have been a lot of like actual Survivor challenges. Like the Piranha one, the kicking and screaming. I've always wanted to try that one. Like, those are like legit challenges from CBS.
I know.
And it looked brutal in the snow, like when Katie got dragged by the stomach.
Oh yeah.
Katie's always getting dragged through the snow, I swear. I feel like she had a video in like in the hopping episode where she was like, yeah, like I was doing the wheelbarrow and getting snow kicked out. Oh yeah,
she got like dragged.
Poor El Norte just always getting beat up in the challenges.
We do not
all these like super physical challenges.
Yeah.
So
Jack, and you did such a good job of throwing it too. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, I was really throwing it hard.
You were really
wasn't
throwing
I?
it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made it look like you were like really trying. It's like I think that's one of the hard things to do is like when you're throwing, you make it look like you're actually trying really hard.
Yeah, I was really selling the throw by just completely trying as hard as I could. It's the best way to sell a throw. You'll never expect it. Yeah, I mean, I guess we were kind of talking about it earlier, but like at the end of the day, I was kind of looking out for number one. Looking out for myself. I was just like, I don't know, and like maybe that's another thing we can get into, or maybe I don't know, maybe that's something that we can't really get into yet, but just about what would have happened if we lost that tribal and if my tribe did go to tribal council. Yeah, and like maybe it would have been a better idea for me to throw. I mean, Camille wouldn't have gone home, but like I still might have gone home.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it would definitely have been a very risky move for you to throw because Nate definitely he's not the biggest Jack fan anymore. He never really was in the first place, it seemed like. And then now he's reunited with Ivy. So I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on, I don't know. I can definitely see how this would be a scary challenge for you to throw.
Yeah.
So like,
and maybe if Eliza or Matthew was on my tribe, I at least have somebody from Tokidoki that I had like a pre-existing connection with, I might feel a little bit better. But just like I had nothing at all going to the swap with Shannon, Cat, or Ivy. So
yeah, that's true.
And just looking at it, it just looks so easy for just, hey, Nate flips over to them. That's easy. That's 4. They can split votes on me and Megan,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the challenge, though. I love that part where you see Matt's butt crack, and Lucy's hey, you zoom in on Matt's butt crack.
That was so funny.
Lucy knows what the fan wants.
It was Katie Reed.
Yeah.
Katie Reed was like, zoom in on the butt crack.
Was it Katie?
I think it was Katie.
I thought it was Lucy. I don't know.
I think it was.
Oh, I heard Katie for some reason. Maybe not.
Maybe both.
But I thought
maybe they're both.
So
we're looking for the Matthew crack.
Wait, but there was also like a joke that like made it make sense too.
Yeah.
I forgot what it
was. Oh yeah, like I just need to stick my head up Matthew's butthole and just stay there.
That was so funny.
Yeah, Camilla's always referencing. She said the tribe dynamic is complete butt crack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's just an obsession with butts.
Butt cracks, yeah.
Yeah, Matthew's butt is definitely a theme of this episode.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, we see that is it new Tokidoki loses the challenge. Jackson finally loses the challenge. What? Who would have thought that I lost a challenge? It's almost like I wasn't even trying to win.
Oh yeah.
Drops to 5-1, his record.
Yeah. I go up to 2-5, 4. I don't know.
Oh boy. Good for you.
Thanks.
Okay, improving the record. Love to see it.
Jack is definitely not a challenge beast. I thought you would be.
Yeah.
No, you know what it is? I think you would be by yourself. I
didn't win an immunity in season 2,
Oh yeah.
I'm really not a challenge.
I think you're
beast.
just cursed.
No.
Because you have what it takes, but it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
You just need to have like a running challenge.
And I still, honestly, one of the things I think, sorry, just to talk about season 2 for 30 seconds, 10 seconds. I always think about that challenge at Final 7 where it was me and Mallory at the very end with the balls.
Oh, and then but I had thrown one into your bucket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had a few, I could have like knocked her out. I was completely choked at the end. Everything could have been completely different. I don't know.
Because you would have had more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay, sorry. Back to this current season.
Yes. Back to 2 seasons later, skip into the future, using Mallory's time machine.
Back to the future. Yeah,
so it seems like initially Camilla and Katie are like, we're going to work together and flip one of them. But then it was like nobody was reaching out to them. And like, obviously, they don't want to like be suspicious. But then it seemed like, at least from the edit, that people started reaching out to Katie specifically, just Katie.
Jackson.
Jackson reached out, and then didn't like Dale also reach out or something?
Yeah, I think the four of them had a pact where they weren't going to talk to Camilla and Katie, like because they're like, oh, we had to stay strong. And then Jackson like broke the pact and like secretly met with Katie.
It was like a buddy system, Boston Rob.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like, it seemed like after a while they just resorted to throwing each other under the bus. They're like, we're not going to be able to both survive, which is kind of sad.
I know. So, yeah, I mean, they just couldn't find the cracks. And, like, I feel like it was definitely still a valid strategy for both of them to try to throw the other under the bus, because it seemed like Katie did kind of have an in with Jackson and Dale, and Camilla definitely kind of had an in with Matthew and Eliza. And, like, I think that definitely the Returning Alliance getting exposed, we haven't even talked about that yet, but that getting exposed definitely hurt Camilla's chances a lot. And I don't think that Megan can be just blamed for that, but
because Jack didn't have to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
wait, why did you tell them?
I don't know. I've thought about that a lot. I think that I really was just like, I just felt like it would be beneficial for me going into the swap and like being like, and having different dynamics for like all the cards be on the table with them, because I, especially just like coming off of that high of the Ben vote, like I felt like that we as a three were like unstoppable. Like we had a super good bond, even though it seemed like Megan was not really fully trusting either of us. But at least with Camilla, like I felt like we were like really 100% together. So I just wanted to have like all of the cards on the table of like, hey, like, if you guys go on to this tribe or whatever, like I have an in with them because we have been like working together like this whole time, and just like trying to like, I don't know, like maybe part of me was like, okay, a mistake that like kind of almost caused me to get voted out was that I was lying. I was trying to play both sides, and I was lying to, Megan about the Breakfast Club and the Breakfast Club about Megan. So I'm like, okay, I want to not play both sides. I just want to have all my cards on the table of these people at least, so I'm not lying to them anymore. And obviously it probably wasn't the best decision to do at that point, especially just because Megan especially was not fully 100% in, and wasn't 100%, like she still had the side thing with Jackson and was giving information to him. So yeah, I think that's definitely something that I regret doing, maybe if that didn't happen, Camilla could have had a better chance at surviving this week.
Okay.
I definitely like can understand why you did it though, because like you had just kind of you had been so close to getting burned by playing both sides and like hiding information from your alliance, like with Ben and Katie, and when it came out, like it turned them against you. So I could see how you're like, okay, like I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be completely and fully honest with my alliance, like. So I can see how you wouldn't want to make the same mistake again with Megan and Camilla. But the issue is Megan kind of leaking that information after you told it to her. But I can see it from your perspective. Like, I don't know. If they had found out about your alliance with Matthew and Eliza and that you had been keeping it from them, that definitely would not have been a good look. And it would have been like, oh, Jack's doing the same thing. He's secret alliances that he's not telling us about.
Yeah, I almost feel like it was kind of a no-win situation. Like maybe short term it could have been better, but like if Megan does find out, like say if Matthew says it to Jackson first or something about this alliance, that Matthew feels like he's really close to Jackson. It's like, hey, actually, I've been talking with Jack this whole time, and then Jackson tells Megan, and then Megan is just re-incentivized to go against me again. And it's like, all right, I trusted him. I kind of went back on him once before, and now this time I really am. I don't know. I was just kind of like thinking through all those scenarios. I don't know.
Yeah. It's tough. I feel like Camilla really had a kind of a perfect storm of bad situations for having the swap with the minority, getting into the minority, her strategy to flirt with Jackson didn't work. Her strategy to go with Lisa and Matthew didn't work. Then this returnee thing got leaked, so Matthew and Lisa didn't want to like protect her anymore. Because from talking with Matthew and Eliza, one of the things that they've said to me is that like they were very highly considering, like maybe not necessarily flipping, but like really, really fighting hard to keep Camilla in the game. Because they kind of had Camilla in their camp, where like Jackson Dale had Katie in their camp, and basically like the returnee stuff getting leaked is what made them feel like, okay, screw that, like I'm not gonna help Camilla anymore. So like I feel like it wasn't the only thing that caused Camilla to go home, but it really like I think hurt her chances of staying in the game.
Gotcha.
On top of all the other things about like the Ben blindside, making her a target, being connected to you, making her a target, all that stuff. There's just so many different things that kind of went wrong.
Yeah. I don't know.
But Camilla yelling at Megan, that was a funny scene. Poor Megan though.
I know.
She was like, I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
It's almost like, guys,
her.
do you think Jackson hypnotized her with the eyes? Maybe that's like his strategy. He's just like
his baby blues.
Yeah. And then in hindsight, she's like, I don't know.
I don't know how I did it. Where she was just like, I didn't want to tell you before because I knew you would say no. Is there anything else for this episode?
I don't know.
I think we're like,
I feel like we have a lot to talk about with Camilla about all these different scenarios about what could have happened.
Yeah.
So
I think she did her best.
I feel like we got to bring her on and let's see if we can if she's been thinking about this stuff at all. So
yeah, I'm gonna eat this really fast, so it's not gonna be there the next scene.
Okay, ready? Little pizza break, and then Camilla.
Hey.
What's up, Camilla? What have you been up to for the past couple years?
Couple years?
Has it been like 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, I was a freshman when it came out, and I'm a junior. Like, I guess I'm done my junior year, so now I'm like basically a senior.
Dang, that's
wow.
crazy.
But I've just been chilling. Yeah, that's crazy, Jack. I'm like you now when you met me, except like
so
a
weird.
little bit months. Yeah, that's crazy.
No, you're an old woman. Like I was like the older man, you know?
I know. I'm so old now. I get nervous about wrinkles and stuff.
You're losing your hair.
Yeah, I am. Just figuring that. No. But I do put more sunscreen on than I used to.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like you've been traveling a lot.
My mom is from Aruba, so I just went with her to go visit my grandparents and stuff. And now here I am, back in Ann Arbor. Just like I always am. Yeah.
All these fun things, enjoying your internet fandom at the same time. Quite the junior year.
It's so cool seeing all those people love me.
Yeah, you have so many fans. You were winning all the polls for favorite member and stuff. El Norte tribe.
What can you say? I mean, I did vote for myself too, so I had that extra.
I would do the same.
I was like, favorite member of El Norte?
You didn't vote for me? What?
I voted for. That was my heart was torn. It's like Tom, Camilla. Chose myself though.
50-50.
Yeah. Maybe like in the future, I'll vote for you, Jack. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So what's up with you guys? Am I allowed to ask questions too?
Yeah.
No, we don't have personal lives.
Yeah. I'm all the way in California. I'm about to move to San Diego from San Francisco.
Wait, when are you moving?
This Friday. I'm all packed.
That's crazy. I'm living in Palo Alto this summer.
What?
Oh.
Okay, Palo Alto is awesome. The weather's gonna be consistently like 70 to 80 every day.
Really? Yeah. I don't know anyone there. I'm just for my internship, so I leave on May 15th. But looks like I'll miss you.
Yeah,
what's your internship with, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm interning at Amazon.
Ooh.
Wait, Sam works there.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll be just like you, Sam, one day.
Aw, maybe. Except for with
If
way
I'm
more
lucky.
fans.
Yeah, I got like a solid 3 or 4 really dedicated ones. Yeah.
Yep.
I wish this was live so I could see them right now. And they could tune in. So what's up with you, Jack?
I'm still in Kansas City, living in the cornfields. You know.
So beautiful. That's what I want to hear.
All the
I have
credit.
There's not as much corn as I thought there would be.
Really?
To be quite honest with you, yeah.
Well, you're not in Kansas, though. You're in what?
I'm in
Missouri, right?
Missouri. Yeah, I remember when I found that out, I was like, everything has been a lie.
I'm very close to Kansas, though. I was actually just in Kansas. I was running in Kansas. Yeah, I'm like, my building is like right on the street. I'm just really doxing myself now. People are gonna know exactly where I live. But I like literally, I can walk out the door and walk like 50 feet, and I'm in Kansas. So yeah.
Dang.
Still no corn. I can't believe there's not as many cornfields as we thought.
I know. They're all wrong.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
What about you, Sam?
I am living in Ann Arbor and working in Detroit right now for my Amazon project, but usually I'm traveling around.
Oh, are you in Ann Arbor right now as we speak? Oh my God. We should go get drinks after. Maybe I'll invite Megan.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Is Megan in Ann Arbor too?
She's in Arbor in the same exact location. Like I've been messaging her just being, and like I was like kind of saying, I kind of assumed she was gone just because she was older than me, and I was kind of assumed she was gone. And then I was like, where are you? Like, love to come see you one day. And she was like, I'm still exactly where I've always been.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, we should get lunch or something.
That's awesome.
I'm sure Meg's going to be smiling the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she'd be so happy. I miss her too.
You know, whether or not she was happy, I think she would just be smiling.
True, even if she was sad. But I think it'd be a happy smile.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So, well, would you be happy to see Megan? Because it really seemed like it was partially her fault that you're the one that went home this weekend. A little segue time.
Yeah.
To talk about Survivor.
Yeah, it was actually kind of crazy watching that because I was just like, geez. I don't know, like part of it's like, you know, you live through it and it's different when you live through it than when you watch it. And it's been so long that it's like, I feel like I don't know if like what I'm watching is the exact truth because, you know, they leave things out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like crazy seeing, like, it almost felt like we told her right after she goes and tells Jackson. And then like she tells me that she did it. And she's like, God, why would you do that, Megan? I thought we were friends. I think I even texted her and I was like, I never knew you were such a snake. Even though I did know, but it was just different seeing it. It was also crazy how like she was like hesitating when telling him, knowing she shouldn't be telling him, and yet still telling him. That was terrible. But
do you think it's because Jackson had her under his little spell?
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my god. Totally. Definitely.
I think tricky boy. Tricky boy right there.
Tricky boy.
I think the only reason why she told me that she even did that was because it was for love. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like it wasn't like she was like playing the game and was like, this is a sneaky move I'm gonna make. Because then she wouldn't have told me. I think she just like she made a mistake under his blue eyes. The pressure was too much for her. But I think I could have. Oh, what were you saying?
No, sorry. Go ahead and finish.
Oh, I was gonna say like I definitely think I could have played that better still instead of just like I heard it happen and then I was like, whatever, just forget it. Like pretend like it didn't happen. But definitely not the right move. Like looking back, but
now part of me is thinking like, I mean, there's a scenario where I can understand that if Megan like tells Jackson about this returnee alliance, then maybe Jackson gets threatened and like wants to make a move against them and like wants to use you and Katie as a number. But that definitely just did not happen at all.
Yeah, like, I was even thinking like I was thinking that definitely could happen, but even like just me being like, I don't know if this is crazy. Like I've been thinking about all these things or like what I should have done, like watching it again. So I was even thinking like I should have I don't know if this has been the best for like other people, like maybe you, Jack. I have no clue, but like I should have just like gone to like Matt and Eliza right then and been like, you know, we told Megan, or like Jack had told Megan, and now like Jackson knows, and he's definitely thinking of you guys as a bigger threat. So like maybe now will be the time to get him out, and even though like maybe you don't trust us as much because like I don't know, like obviously how it played out more, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of scenarios where I could have used that to maybe make a move, but I think I was too scared to, like, I don't know why, but I remember feeling like scared to like make a move like that because it seems, obviously watching now, like they were all like not seeming so strong. Like Eliza seemed like she wanted to flip, blah, blah, blah. But like in the moment I was like, they're so strong and I don't want to like suggest something like that and then them be like, oh, she's thinking so hard about it, she should go home. But like, I don't know why I was scared. I should not have been scared. Like that is so dumb. I just like, it was very frustrating to watch that all go down. A lot of mistakes.
I know what you mean. You can feel like, what if they actually are already like on my side, and if I try too hard to do something, then they're gonna flip away. You know, it can't really be like.
Yeah, I was scared they were gonna be like if I like proposed a plan or was like like showing that I was thinking really hard, they'd be like, oh well, Camilla's like actually playing, and like Katie is not playing as much, so maybe we should just keep Katie. And like even what Matt was saying, like how you know how when you met Matt, Jack, and you were saying you didn't want to like come off as though we were so close because like, I don't know, you didn't want Matt to think that. And then Matt was saying his confessional that he was like, he doesn't know if he should keep me or like weaken you and make like by taking me out. And it was just like, all those things were going through my mind too. And I just like didn't know what to do. And so I was just trying to be like low key and hope for the best. But that I just wished, I wish I never did that. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I want to talk about how you volunteered to be in the minority, and what was that whole situation like? What was going through your mind?
Well, I think, and I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, I just like I was playing so. Okay, it was a couple things. First, I think it was my overconfidence. In my mind, I think I lived in like a movie, and I was thinking like, there's no way anything could happen to me. Like this was my movie. Like, how am I going to get voted off? Like I thought
the main character.
I was really thinking like nothing could happen where I could face anything in my mind. And also,
because we were just coming off of. Sorry, but we were just coming off like the Ben vote. You know, where we were literally just so on top of what we're like, we're the best of ever players ever. We can do anything. You know.
And I was thinking a lot about you, Jack. Like, I was definitely playing for 2. Like, I really felt like, but I also like, not even that was so bad. Maybe in the future I would not play for 2 again. But in my mind, I was thinking like, you are my #1 alliance member. Like, we just severed a lot of relationships. And if you're not in the game, then like, what am I doing in the game? I don't have anyone to lean on, anyone to talk to, like, and be really close with. And so I was thinking, well, either we don't come to decision and Jack ends up on this tribe and who knows like what happens, like they vote you out because you're the only other returnee and obviously you'd be the biggest stud on our tribe and then I'd be screwed. Or like, and I was also thinking if I went, perhaps I knew you were talking to Matt and Eliza. I thought maybe they would want to work with me more and just because of you. And so I thought that maybe I would have a chance. I didn't see it was like a total closed door, like I was going to be sabotaged. I thought there was maybe a chance for me to make something happen. But I should have just done what everybody else did and not volunteered.
And I think, I obviously was like really trying to keep you around too. Like I was definitely like I really was playing hard to keep you around, to keep like my #1 in the alliance around. But I also think there probably was part of me that was selfishly trying to get you to do that and trying to, So I think, I can't be completely,
But also if you had successfully pulled it off, that would be like a really good thing to bring up at Final Tribal Council as like a good move that you made.
But it didn't work out at all. But I don't know. I really thought that there was like a way and that I thought I only needed to survive 1 week because the way I was thinking was like swap and then merge. And all I had to survive was 1 week. But obviously.
Plus, Jack did say you would throw the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so annoying. I remember sitting in my door. I remember after the challenge, Megan and Jack came to my room after we had lost, and I was just so annoyed at them. We sat on like my futon. I hated being in my bedroom with them just because I hated my room, and then also like that I just lost, and they're like, "Well, sorry that happened." I don't even remember what we said, but I remember being like, "Why did we throw the challenge?"
Megan's like, we could throw the next one. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't even worry about it.
I'm not going to be here for that. I remember specifically also during the challenge, I think I had to like pull you off, Jack. Oh, I remember being so pissed at you. I was like, why are you holding so tight?
Why are you letting me pull you off? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
And then Matt and Dale were just being like falling off the pole magically. I was like, I want to kill myself. And it's okay.
I mean, I will say, like, I can see how you felt like you might be able to pull something off in the minority with Katie too, because like I don't know, I feel like you definitely had a pretty bad combination of people on your tribe to try to pull a move off with, because I feel like if it had been a different combination of people, then maybe it would have been easier to like swing something. Like I feel like it definitely was just like a bad combination of like people in that tribe for you.
Oh, because of Katie, or on
just because of like Dale, Jackson, Eliza, and Matthew already were all kind of tight with each other versus like the other three Tokidokis. Like I feel like they maybe weren't as tight with each other.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially like it almost feels, watching it at this point, it feels like, I don't know, Dale and Jackson, like whatever they wanted was what was going to happen. And I'm sure there was so much more than what we saw. And even though they made it seem like Liza and Matt were like so willing to flip, I'm sure maybe it wasn't exactly like that, just because. But it probably wasn't the best move for either of them. And yeah, you're right though. Say if I was with Shannon or Ivy and Kat, if that was the four I was with, there would have been so much more like to happen. But
yeah, like you could have gotten like a girls thing maybe against one of Dale or Jackson, or
Oh yeah. But then I was with like three boys who were all so tight and all like very like they were playing smart, all playing very smart. And the smart thing isn't probably to flip on your alliance right now, right before you merge, and then like have everyone from your other tribe still being like confused. So they were all playing smart, but what I needed was stupid players with me.
Or Jackson to fall for all your flirting at the party. It just didn't work.
It was funny because I even still, they didn't show it, but I remember like meeting with Jackson that week at like the law quad or wherever. It was like some weird place that like he had this like law dungeon that he would draw people into meet. And I remember thinking back at it like, oh, we talked for like an hour and a half about nothing. I did that with like all of them. Every time I met with them, like, well, at least like Dale and Jackson, it's because they didn't want to talk game with me. And it would just be like they're meeting with me to be nice. And so we talked forever about like blah blah blah, what I did when I was young and stuff like that. But no one wanted, and like the second game was brought up, they'd be like, well, if you have an idol, I would play it. And I was like, I don't want to kill myself. No one was working, like they did not want to work with me.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Was there anything else like that you've seen these past couple episodes that you didn't know while you were playing that you were surprised by?
That's a good question. I don't know. Let me think. I guess some things that I was surprised by was like Jackson is super likable. Like he's like my favorite person on their tribe. I think he's so funny.
He is.
I was
everything he says is so funny.
Yeah, like that one segment of like when he was talking about Cats when she cheated. Oh, I was
yeah.
cracking up so much. I even rewatched it. It was so funny.
And
He's
remember,
just so
kids, if you break the
sarcastic.
rules, sometimes you'll get away with it and get something pretty cool.
It was so good. I loved that. One thing that I'm trying to think, like, one thing that has surprised me. These are all such lame things I'm thinking of it right now, but like they're things I thought about. I was kind of surprised when Shannon called me an idiot or dumb. That kind of hurt my feelings.
I forgot about that.
I was like, why are you calling me dumb?
I mean, are you guys even close? I feel like she doesn't really know you.
No, I had met her like one time with, I don't know. I met her like one time, and the only other time we talked was when I beat her in the puzzle.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's true.
Camilla's an idiot. After that episode, I went and I how do you say it? Like I added her on LinkedIn. I was like,
working at Amazon is so Shannon.
Funny.
I was like, I'm an idiot. But I guess.
Do you think it's that sorority stereotype? I feel like people really like went hard on that.
Dude, like, yeah, talking about things I did not expect.
Yeah.
I don't even think I ever even brought up the fact that I was in a sorority.
Yeah, it was not your fun fact. It was not your fun fact. I can
Not
say
my
that
fun
much.
fact. Wait, what was my fun fact?
No, that's how Lucy, because Lucy was like, I'm in Scrappa.
Oh, yeah. Was that my fun fact?
Yeah.
I don't think I brought it up to anyone. I was not like Kat talking about, I'm an Alpha Gamma Delta. Like, like I didn't bring it up. Everyone else talked about it so much more than me. Like, maybe it was on my Instagram, but it was like, oh, that was annoying. They made it like my thing every time I'd be talking. Camilla, Alpha Phi. Like, why are you guys doing like
should have been your TikTok handle instead.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's what I was saying, rewatching it. Like, there's so much more they could have done for me. But they definitely wanted to, I don't know, maybe I also painted me in this light as well, but there is definitely a certain light that I was portrayed in. And I don't know, I'm sure, I guess part of me is like that, but I definitely wasn't trying to portray like a sorority girl. I remember one time Lucy came up to me and was like sorority girls, like, you get it. And at that point I had no clue anybody even knew, like anybody was talking about it. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that sucks for you. Was not a problem for me. And then watching it, I was like, oh.
That's so funny.
I feel like
it was
a tough semester to be an Alpha Phi, just because like I feel like there had just been a lot of things that happened recently that was on a lot of people's minds. Like I feel like it's probably different nowadays, but I think that specific semester was like pretty tough.
Yeah, I think that was like the semester that was right after, it was like the year, I don't know, like some letter came out where it was like talking about the recruitment at Alpha Phi, and it was like saying like they only recruit pretty girls and blah blah blah. I don't remember anymore, but I still joined anyway. But if it makes anyone happy, I'm not in it anymore.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Well, I just never paid anymore because I was like, I'm not gonna pay anymore. And so they sent me an email finally after I hadn't paid for like a year and a half, and we're like, you have been terminated. But I'm still in all the group chats and stuff, but I'm not an Alpha Phi anymore.
Man, if you ever play again, then they're not gonna be able to put that next to your name.
I know. I'll be like, I'm not an Alpha Phi.
Oh no.
You know, they would do that too. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was funny seeing everyone talk about it.
Oof. Well, speaking of, you mentioned the Shannon and the puzzle thing. Talk about that whole thing. Like, what was the situation there?
Oh, that was the coolest moment of my life. So I remember we were in, I don't know what building on North, and they were like, each tribe had to choose the weakest person for the other tribe to do the puzzle. And I was like, automatically, they're gonna choose me. I can tell I'm giving off the stupid vibes, the sorority girl vibes. And so I knew it was going to be me. And I was like really nervous. And then when I knew it was a puzzle, I was like, I'm so good at puzzles. So I was not nervous. And it was like a children's Anna and Elsa puzzle. So I finished that super quickly, just like boom, 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 put it back together, and was like, there's no more pieces for me to do. And so I waited perhaps 1 or 2 hours for Shannon to finish her puzzle. And I was just thinking, oh, this girl's so dumb. and then we went up and we gave each other both the same amount of pieces. And we ran back. Actually, no, I got more pieces than her. So I had more to do. Ran back and boom, 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 super quick. I finished it. Wow. And that was the only time we ever won.
That's true. It's a big moment for El Norte.
You never really think about that. Like, I never even thought about how big it would be to lose every single time until like it had came to that point where we had lost every time. And I was like, wow, this really kind of screws up your game.
Yeah, that was the one time you were ever immune at tribal council, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that sucked. Yeah.
Because think about the Tokidoki people, like most of them have only gone to one tribal council, and you went to like what, like 3 or 4 maybe?
Yeah, I know. And I think that it's funny because in my mind, I never even thought of it as like a big deal. I think I was playing so much in like the present, especially like with the Ben vote. I was always just thinking about like, even though I've watched so much Survivor and like that's obviously a thing. Like when I was playing it, it did not cross my mind. Like when we lost the first challenge, I was like, well, someone's got to lose. And like, I was like, whatever, we're just gonna have to vote someone off. Like you do that in Survivor. Next week we lost. I was like, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah. People always lose. And then you get to like the part where you swap and like you have like 6 people on your tribe and you're definitely in the minority and you're like, we should not have lost so much. But the odds were definitely stacked against us. So
yeah,
what could we have done?
Yeah, I think it makes it rough going into swap because they don't have as many opportunities to like make divisions in their tribe. You know, they had one kind of easy vote really, so people don't really know where they stand or like, you know, whereas we have been very, very divided.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, if they had just maybe one more vote, just something to like make them not so unified, it'd be so much easier. Just like for us, like if it was before, say the Ben vote didn't happen and we had voted out Nate, obviously things would have been a million so different. But just also the unity, like you don't realize how big that is until you don't have it and everyone's throwing each other under the bus and you can't work. Like, say even if I had made it past this, we only have like me and Jack, Megan, and then like some extra people, but there's not like a ton of people to work with them.
And even Megan's iffy. We don't know if she's going to turn on us for Jackson yet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know if I would have had Megan now. Only half of her. Her other half of her is with yeah. That's funny.
In the Ben vote, I want to hear about your perspective on how all that went down.
Okay. Yeah, the Ben vote was cool. Oh, I was thinking, because I was actually watching your other podcast with Ben, and I was thinking because you brought up the fact that Nate had followed me to the ugly.
Oh yeah.
I see what happened. I almost feel like it's a lie. I don't know. Like,
really?
I don't. It's just like none of it really makes sense to me. I mean, I did go to the ugly, and I'm sure he followed me to the ugly, but I just took an Uber then to like Metal Frat. So what was he doing? Running with my Uber to Metal Frat, jumping and seeing us in the window? Like, I don't understand.
Why'd you take an Uber from the ugly to Metal Frat? That's pretty close.
I took Ubers everywhere. I did not know where anything was, and I was not about to walk. So I was just taking an Uber. So when like even back then I didn't understand it, and I thought I was gonna get some more clarity watching, but I was still like, I don't know. I mean, he could have guessed that I went to go meet up with somebody, but how did he know exactly what happened? I still have no idea how he could have followed me. And so that's a question you're gonna have to ask Nate because I have no idea how that happened.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess that's what started everything and led to Nate talking to Ben and them, which was crazy to see. I never really thought. I can't believe we had told him we went to search for the idol, like me, you, and Megan. Why did we do that? I just like it's crazy. Why would we do that?
I remember I really didn't want Megan to tell Nate about the idol clue and everything. So I remember because I remember like she told me and I think you, or maybe just me at first. I can't remember exactly because it kind of gets glossed over a little bit because I don't think there's enough time really for all these intricacies in the episode. But I feel like I got there to like we met at Ross and she was like, oh, she's like, should I tell other people? I'm like, yeah, definitely tell Camilla. And she's like, oh, and Nate too. And I'm like, maybe not Nate. But like I feel like she was already like feeling kind of weird and like feeling on the outside of like Ben and Katie, and like I feel like she definitely felt a little closer with Nate than we did. So I feel like she wanted to like make a bond with him through this as well.
That does make sense, but screwed us over in a million ways. And then
I know.
Nate told Ben, and thank God for Megan with our loose little lips. Telling me then. Because if it wasn't for that, we would have never known, and you would have gone home maybe.
Yeah.
But that was crazy. I remember going over Megan's house that night. I wish I remembered everything in greater detail. But she had like texted me and was like, can you come over? I need to tell you something. And I was like, okay. But I was thinking, honestly, she's going to talk to me about Jackson or something. I thought we were just going to have like a chill time. And then she started asking me like, did you go to meet with Ben and Katie and Jack after the challenge? And I was like, you gotta listen here. And she was like, oh my God, you've been lying to me, blah, blah. And that's when I was like, Megan, you just need to hear us out. I'm gonna call Jack really quick. And then you came over and we explained everything to her. And that was, I can't believe she still wanted to work with us. But I guess we were pretty awesome back then, so who could blame her? And then going into travel, I remember being at Acapella and you texting me that you were meeting with Ben and Katie. I remember you saying that you were convincing them not to vote for me. And
because I really thought they were voting for you at that point.
Yeah, and yeah, like how you said in the last podcast I was watching, how like they were trying to like get you to vote for me at one point, and then like you had to switch it back to Nate. I remember pooping my pants in Acapella. I was so nervous. And I remember walking with like Emily B. She was recording me and I was like, oh my God, I hope that Jack did it and that they're gonna vote for Nate and then we're gonna put up Ben in that tribal. Oh, it was so delicious. It was so good. I couldn't stop smiling the whole time the votes were being read. I've never felt so satisfied, so complete.
Yeah.
I just love that picture of you where like at tribal you're just like, that's iconic. That was iconic.
I know that was so mean of me. I can't believe I did that thing. Oh, I was cringed at myself when I go, what? Like, why did I yell at him?
Ben just looked like he was so over it too. He just like looked at you like, really? Like,
I know, it's like this is like the saddest moment for him, and I'm like, so psychotic that I just couldn't help it. It was too cool. Even though I liked Ben so much and he was awesome, it just there's nothing like a blindside.
Oh yeah.
Being part of one and knowing everyone else is confused. And then the best moments were after it too, when we were all just sitting there. Or like I think Jack, you and Megan left for a second, or you I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was like me, Megan, and Nate for a while. Oh, it was just so funny. I just couldn't help but laugh. It was like, so what happened?
That's like exactly how we talk. Nate's always like looking up, rolling his eyes. It's so funny.
Yeah, Katie shared her popcorn with me, and then she tried to make it out.
Yeah, that was so funny, especially in the beginning, because I know like they showed Katie saying, I just don't want to talk right now. Like all of us had voted like for each other. And I was just like, yeah, this is so awkward. But it was really so cool.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love seeing people comment like, this is the best episode of all of Survivor Michigan. It's like, true. It is the best episode.
I honestly think it like Yeah, I mean, we talked so much last episode about how good it was, but I still honestly feel like it has to be one of the top episodes in this series. Just like so many like crazy things happened, and the whole Eric thing, the Megan and Jackson romance thing, just like
so
everything together.
Yeah, you did an amazing job editing it. That's for sure. The storyline was awesome. I was like scared. I was scared I was gonna like watch it and be like, oh, I don't even feel like that's right.
Yeah.
It was just perfect. It was so perfect. And even though I got off the next week and that sucked, I can die happy.
Yay, that's good.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Anything else that you want to talk about your experience? Anything else that you wanted to get off your chest about the season? I don't know. Any other thoughts, basically, that went out there?
Let me think. I wrote down some things just in case I got nervous.
Oh.
No, I don't know. Maybe I just wish we never told Megan anything.
Yeah, I guess if you go back in time and like change one thing, would you just like would it
change
be
one thing?
Yeah,
that probably wouldn't be the one thing I changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one thing I would change would be not voting out Ben, regardless of like how Megan's feelings were handled after that. Like it's just so clear that we should not have done it, even though it was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just because, especially like he was such a big meat shield. If we went to the, like in the swap, no matter what, we would have all felt safe because Ben was going. He was a shoo-in like to go like in the next 2 weeks, and we were just like, well, just because we don't like him right now and he's sharing secrets, let's vote him out.
Yeah.
Or I guess.
Yeah.
And then he was actually with you guys at the end after he talked to Jack.
Yeah. After that, I mean, I guess it was like you guys said. It was hard to know who was voting for. It was like we didn't know if you had really convinced him or not. So it was like if we would to vote for Nate and then he voted for us, we would still be screwed.
Right.
So I guess we were doing what we thought was right. And there's nothing we could have done. It was just how things were going to happen. Unless,
yeah.
Like, the only thing
sorry. I just think it would have been really hard to would we have told Megan that we were voting for Nate? Would we just not have told Megan? Like, I feel like Megan would not have voted for Nate at that point. Like, she 100% would have voted for. She wanted to vote for Ben. So, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and then it dates back to even like how that was that problem, but also like it would have had to be fixed so so much earlier.
Yeah.
Like we would have to been like on. We were never like truly loyal. We were so wishy-washy. I don't know.
We were playing. I think me and you were playing both sides way too hard.
Yeah.
I think we just got really cocky and like, oh my gosh, we have this great thing with Ben and Katie, and we have this great thing with Megan. Like, we can just kind of work with both sides. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we should have like dedicated ourselves more to at least one of them, and so we could have been honest with them, and so then none of it would have happened that way.
Yeah, because we ended up both of them being pissed off at us, you know.
Yeah,
because we were lying to both of them. Yeah,
we were only just lucky that like Megan didn't really like Nate that much, and still wanted to work with us, but that was definitely not very smart. I guess I haven't really thought about that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess for future reference, not to do that.
Yeah, would you ever play again if given the chance?
Yeah, I'd play again, but I'm only here for 1 more year.
That's plenty of time.
Yeah,
plenty of time.
So if anybody wants me, now is the time to get it. Yeah, but I would definitely play again. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life, and watching it was even more fun. All my friends were watching it. It was so cool.
Great. Who are your friends' favorites besides you?
They like Jackson. They like Jackson. Obviously they like Jack. But I think they like Jack even before it started because I was always like, Jack is the best.
Yeah.
And a lot of them like Dale.
Okay.
They think, they just like him. They think he's a legend, even though he did not like me and did not want to work with me. But Dale's actually so nice.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
is. Yeah.
When I got voted
Yeah.
off, he texted me and he was like, "Hey, Camilla, just want to say like, you were so funny in your confessionals, and I never knew that. And sorry we weren't on the same tribe and didn't get to work with each other. Like, how kind?
Aw,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Love that
Right.
guy.
So maybe you'll both come back. He's 50 now, and you're a senior, and you can work together.
Yeah, I'll pitch the idea to him.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess
Yeah, you're such a fun character to have on the show. I mean, like, that huge fan favorite. So, definitely sad to see you go. But I think that it was great having you on for the time that you were around.
yeah.
It was an honor to be your number one, Camilla.
Of course, I would do it 100 times again.
Me too.
I was thinking I was going to cringe way more at me because I just like knew what I knew I had done a lot of things in those confessionals. And I was thinking like, and I remember the first episode, I was like, I can't handle this.
You were never like mean though to people. Like even when you were about to like roast someone, you were like, "Oh, Megan, like I love that girl so much." But like,
yeah. Oh, one thing I do want to say then, not that Katie will ever spend her time to watch this, but I do feel bad for calling her dumb. And at least when I was like, at least the episode, I remember it being a little meaner in my mind, but I guess I'm sure it wasn't. But I felt bad because especially like when Shannon called me dumb, that hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I was like, and I don't even know Shannon, so it must have been mean for Katie like to hear me say that. I don't think she's dumb. She's just silly. Yeah, but I didn't cringe myself so much. And I didn't think you were cringy either, Jack. I thought we were pretty cool.
Yeah, we're very cool.
Jack
Not even Jack when Jack was dancing out to death grips.
No, I
That was
love
pretty
that.
cringy.
Yeah,
That was pretty
funny.
cringy.
I thought that was funny. I love that.
I loved it. I was like, oh, that's why he was a metal friend. That makes sense. I loved that. I thought we were good. I even loved Megan's confessionals. At first, she was kind of quiet, but in the last couple episodes, she's so cute, like with her face and everything. I love that. I feel like I love everyone on our tribe.
Yeah,
Even I guess except for she who shall not be named. But yeah, everyone was so awesome. I really did love them. We had a great cast.
Yeah.
Great season.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
thank you for having me.
You're a great guest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad. Sorry if I talked too much. I was a little nervous.
No. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again.
Yeah. It's been great talking to
thanks.
you again, Camilla.
Yeah, it's so nice to see you guys.
All right.
Miss you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Coming.
Okay. Bye.
All right, Camilla. Great cast member. Highly entertaining. I think she got pinned as the sorority girl when she really didn't have anything to do with that. You know what I think it is? I think it's because Kat kept talking about how she was an AGD and she knew that Camila was an Alpha Phi or something. And so maybe she was telling people that. I don't know. But
yeah, I think it's kind of funny how surprised Camila was that was part of her storyline,
Yeah.
I know.
But
I mean, ultimately, I feel like it didn't hurt her that much, though. Like, I feel like if anything, like, she was very likable and very liked by the cast, and I think that she was kind of voted off because she was just seen as a big threat at the swap.
Yeah.
Like, both for just her game knowledge and personality, but also because of her, like, connection to Jack and because of the Ben blindside.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, and especially, I think we made some comparisons to Lucy, and like, I feel like Lucy had the stigma of being a sorority girl kind of stick along with her a lot longer than I feel like Camila did. Like, I feel like, there's some snarky confessionals in the first couple episodes, but yeah, definitely by the Ben blindside, people realized that Camila was a very serious game player.
do you think Lucy would ditch the blue team for the red team?
Never do that.
Never. But yeah, I think that looking at Camilla's game, like she was in such a good spot on Old El Norte, like in the middle. Obviously maybe got a little bit too confident, but was able to, I think, I give a lot of credit to you, Jack, for turning that Ben vote around. I give Megan a lot of credit, obviously, for taking advantage of the situation. But I also want to give Camilla credit for being able to do pretty good damage control with Megan and really keep Megan loyal. I think that she played a very strong game. She was a very, very fun and entertaining character in the show. My overall thoughts are, I just feel like she needed to play the game more for herself. As much as I can talk about was going down the minority a mistake, was getting rid of Ben a mistake for her. I mean, no one's going to play a perfect game, but I do think that, yeah, she just needed to play the game more for herself. And it's tough because I think that she did get screwed a little bit by the swap. I think that she got pretty unlucky, but it's just a combination of those unlucky things happening and making some mistakes that'll knock you out sometimes. So very, very sad to see her go this early, but that's how it goes sometimes.
I think she's definitely somebody who has a ton of Survivor potential, and especially if she comes back now after having seen her season, and and actually seeing the things that went gone wrong, and being a senior as opposed to being a freshman. I really feel like she can do a lot of damage in Survivor, and yeah, so I really hope that she gets another chance to play.
Parvati / Amanda.
Exactly. I mean, Parvati wasn't amazing her first time.
That's true.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. That's the arc that we're all gonna need to see. So.
Yeah, and
great.
just a little bit from my perspective, she was one of the best alliance partners you could ask for. I really feel like she was definitely we were very, very loyal to each other, but she was also she wasn't just blindly loyal. Maybe she wasn't playing for herself as much as she could have, but she wasn't just following me, doing whatever I wanted to. She was very much a game player on her own, and she was making amazing social connections, making strategic moves. Just to go back, I think we already talked about this a little bit, but just about the whole Ben Bomb move. I don't know if this all would have happened if she wasn't able to make such a good connection with Megan to make Megan feel comfortable about it. Because Megan didn't go to me immediately. Megan needed to have an intermediary. Hey, should we do this thing?
Yeah.
And he was Camilla did such a good job of making people really want to trust her and want to work with her.
Yeah, I think I'd want to work with her if we play.
Yeah,
definitely. And that's the thing where I almost feel like that came back to bite her, unfortunately, because I do think that Jackson and Dale are very strong players, and they kind of saw through. I mean, Jackson kind of saw through her flirting, her strategizing. And I think they definitely saw okay, she's a major game player. We can't have her stay in the game. And I do think that if maybe some other people were in that spot, she might have been able to work some magic. But Jackson and Dale, I think they really saw how much of a threat she was, and they just weren't going to let that slide. And that always happens. If you're in the minority in a swap situation, it's really tough. It's just really tough.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of strong players. Chloe in season 3. We saw, Kevin Bailey in season 2. Yeah. It's just if you're in the minority in a swap and you're kind of one of those strong people of your tribe, it's very hard to get out of that.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
And I just feel a swap is just a little too early for the big players to want to shake it up.
Yep.
Yeah. If I was just gonna say, if El Norte was in a position where we were the one that were dominating challenges, and when she was able to go into the merge in a solid majority, in a strong alliance, I think she would have done a ton of damage. Yeah, so.
All right, should we do the ranking?
Survivor, yeah.
Yeah, so let's rank Camilla versus the other people that got 12th place from the other 3 seasons.
We had 2 cams for 12. So we have Jesse first, Cam from season 1 second, and Sarah Avery third right now.
Okay.
We had Sarah A.
Yeah, I was like, why was Sarah A less? But I guess like that makes sense because Cam
Yeah.
Cam was less entertaining, but
Yeah, he was.
I
Yeah.
don't know, like less
Sarah A
chaotic.
did make some
Yeah.
pretty chaotic mistakes.
Mhm.
As much as I love our Ohana mom.
Yeah, that's true. There wasn't like a lot of things she did super well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, something funny I thought Camilla said though was she was like, I would do it like 100 times again for you, Jack. So it's like that means if we ran the simulation 100 times,
Yeah.
Oh,
would
true.
she
true.
always sacrifice herself for you?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's interesting. That because the Camila we just talked to is different than we're ranking the
Mhm.
season 4 version of Camila, who she said that even just it took even till watching the season to really kind of realize some of the mistakes she made. That being said, I do think that she is a very, very, very strong player. I mean, looking at Sarah Avery,
Mhm.
I think that's an easy one.
Mhm.
Sarah A. Yeah.
Cam, I feel like she would mobilize more than Cam.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Cam just was never. I mean, she had connections with almost everybody and almost everyone. She had an extremely big, very good social game. I don't remember Cam having many alliances outside of Matthew. And I mean, he was in the Maison 6,
Exactly.
but like, what did he really do?
Yeah, he was the weakest part of that alliance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I put her definitely at least second.
You're looking at Jessie.
Jessie was like woke. Jessie knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
She did have a very good perception of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think Camila also kind of did, right?
Yeah, Camila, I feel like I don't know if she ever really had a bad read on something.
Yeah, like she was like
thinking,
Jackson didn't like fall for whatever I was doing, which is right.
She knew Tokioki was going to throw the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that Megan telling them about that stuff was bad.
Yeah,
like, she knew that you and her and you were close, and she like trusted you, and that was right.
Mm-hmm.
Even like when she had that
sorry,
go ahead. Like when she had that like yelling math. Like when she was yelling at Megan, she's like, "But Megan, if you tell them this, then they're going to do that, and they're going to think this, and they're going to think that, and then it's going to come back to them, and then they're not going to want me in the game anymore." Didn't you think
and it's
that
like exactly
ahead?
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, honestly, I might put her first.
Yeah,
because I feel like it was a very specific situation that sent her home.
Mm-hmm. And she had a way better social game than Jessie, where like Jessie was a lot more like passive. Camila was pretty active as far as like having connections with everybody, to the extent where like Megan came to her first when Megan wanted to make a move. Whereas like no one was coming to Jessie first, except for like, Ben was probably telling everything, but that's different.
Yeah, and Camila found herself in like multiple alliances, from the start we wanted like that the Breakfast Club 4, like she was part of that. She was part of me and Megan, and so just I feel like just repeating again, but I really feel like a lot of times if we do the running the season over and over again, even like this exact version of Camila, I feel like is on it. Maybe it just if El Norte wins a few challenges, if some things go her way, if like one of us finds an idol or something, like I really feel like she's set up in a good position for like a me, her, and Eliza alliance, or me, her, Eliza, Matthew alliance, or whatever. If that gets the merge, like I really feel like she could do a lot of damage in that.
Yeah.
All right, let's put her first.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy. Yeah, so 12th place rankings, we officially have Camila in first place, Jessie second, then Cam, and then bringing up the rear is our dear mother from Ohana, Sarah Avery.
Sarah.
Last but certainly not least.
Those are strong 4 players, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's Sarah is last.
Yeah, it's true.
That's saying a lot.
It's only going to get better if you go down the list.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, guys. I'm excited for this coming episode because I don't think anyone is going to know what's happening.
I don't
know. That's a spoiler. Whoa. I just don't think anyone's going to know what's happening.
Yeah.
Even I don't know what's happening.
Looking on the next time on Survivor definitely teases some chaos. So
yeah, it is a chaotic episode. Another chaotic episode. This season's
it
is a lot of crazy stuff going down.
Yep. It's just the ghost of Tom. The ghost of Tom is still still messing with things.
I'm still waiting for the Matt friend, aka actual Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for that whole thing to
for him to
come
enter the
life.
game at the merge. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Cool.
All
All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Bye.
See you guys next week.
See you
Next
next week.